What's up, everybody? I'm John.
I'm Isaac.
And we are Cars and Cameras, and we are waiting on some parts for the cross cart right now, so we are putting that on hold to do an engine build that we've wanted to do for a long time, and that is do an E85 powered 212 engine. So I personally don't know a whole lot about E85. I know we are going to need about 30% more fuel than conventional gasoline going through this engine with E85, and I know that in some applications it can make a ton more power than regular 93 octane fuel. We're going to find out today using a Stage 2 Tillotson 212cc engine from GoPowersports.com, and Sunoco Racing Fuels hooked us up with their E85R fuel. We've heard rumors through friends and social media that E85 does have a place with small engines, but we're going to find out just how much today. We're going to be using Sunoco E85R on this build. Sunoco Racing Fuels has been sponsoring our channel for the last 2 years. They hook us up with their 95 octane Optima that we really like for our projects because it lasts forever and it performs really well. All right, so we're not 100% sure that this is going to make a huge boost in performance, if anything, because it really varies on each individual application, but I'm willing to give it a shot. You ready to build an engine?
Yes, sir.
We are going to be installing a Stage 2 performance upgrade kit from GoPowersports.com on this Tillotson 212cc engine. Now, the Stage 2 has changed since we first installed it a few years ago. We have a 22mm Mikuni carburetor, 18-pound valve springs, a billet rod stock length, a really cool looking gold flywheel that we have not used before, a thinner head gasket, and a side cover gasket, a racing spark plug, and the 265 hot cam. Engine teardown. Ready?
Yep.
Set, go.
Thank you.
Our guy Zach at Sunoco sent along a message of what we can expect from E85. E85R will absorb twice as much heat compared to gasoline from its surroundings when it changes from liquid to vapor phase. Our air intake temperature is going to be lower, meaning denser fuel and air going into the cylinder, which means better performance. E85R can handle higher boost and compression than many gasolines without detonation. Pump E85 can vary from 60 to 85% ethanol depending on the time of the year. E85R is exactly 85% ethanol. Ethanol will easily absorb water from the air, so in these small engines would be good to drain or seal the fuel system if it'll sit for more than a couple of days. Something we're going to have to look out for.
Whoa.
Hey.
We've never had one of these engines apart.
This is the first time we built the Tillotson.
It's already lined up.
So cute.
Now this one, this side. Did you notice that looks like there's a lot less of the, you know how on the Predators how we take them apart and just the bottom is just absolutely full of.
Hey, that's true. I've never
aluminum
noticed
and
that.
stuff?
Yeah, this is a lot cleaner, way cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the blocks are reinforced right here as well.
Yeah, that's what I like about these. So what's the difference between Hemi and non-Hemi on Tillotsons? Do they not come non-Hemi?
I don't know.
These rockers are definitely different. Boom, out of the way. Now this is truly the first time we've had a head off.
Yes.
Fine. We're putting a rod on, right?
Yes.
I guess I will take this piston out.
Oh, you got it?
Yep.
Do I stop the clock?
Sure.
20 minutes, 40 seconds, dude.
Could have done better. But I really wasn't rushing that much. Make sure you get this washer right here.
After you remove the governor.
After you take the governor out.
Sweet.
Factory, new one. It's like a third of the thickness.
Yeah, so we're not doing any head work on this build, but we are installing the supplied thinner head gasket. And that's going to be like shaving the head. We're bumping up the compression. All right, so the engine is torn down and it's ready for reassembly. Ike is going to start with the rotating assembly, crankshaft, rod, flywheel, all that good stuff. And so we were told that E85 would work on any engine. I mean, we can make any engine run on E85, but we'll probably have a bigger performance difference on the more modified ones. But for right now, we're doing Stage 2 because, I don't know, I didn't feel like risking a Stage 3 or Stage 4 engine. If this E85 experiment works out for us pretty well today, we might consider it on a more modified engine to see if we can get bigger gains out of it. But right now, we just want to make it run, see if we can tune it properly.
Sprocket can probably get knocked off.
And that's for the governor?
This is for the governor. And I've never tried it before. Do we really want to try it in this video?
I don't think so, dude. Well. And so we're picking up, what, maybe half a horsepower?
Feel it.
And this is basically like putting a lighter flywheel on the engine, right? It's just less rotating mass.
Less rotating mass.
That'll help the engine spin higher.
Look at this flywheel. This is the first time we've...
It's beautimous.
Yeah. It's the first time we've ever put one of these on. This has 34 degrees advanced timing.
Cool. Cool beans.
We're going to have to double check the clearance on that coil.
Yes.
To the flywheel.
We have a Predator, Hemi, flywheel, and performance kit for a Tillotson 212. Apparently they don't mix. We didn't know that. In fact, this is the first Tillotson we've ever tried to build. But we happen to have a Hemi Predator 212 that we can use for this build. It's pre-used. We've ran it before just as a stock engine. But we'll inspect it, make sure everything is good. And in a second here, as soon as I snap my fingers, we'll have a Predator 212 apart on the table ready to build. Ready? Here we go. Bam! Here's a bare Predator 212 block. Ike has already tapped the hole where the governor arm went in, and we put a fine thread bolt in it. And we are doing the same to where the low oil cutoff sensor went in the side of the block. We're tapping it and putting a 7/16 by 20 fine thread bolt in there. And then we're going to go ahead and... Blue Loctite? No. Red Loctite. The unbreakable stuff.
We got some red Loctite?
Yeah. So we make sure that these bolts never back out. Once we get these done, we can go ahead and assemble the engine. And yeah, it has some goop in the bottom of it. It's pre-run. But
it's a seasoned block.
It's a seasoned block, and like, there's a little bit of wear, but it's nothing to be concerned about. I mean, it's a pre-run engine.
Hey man, I can see the tap
coming on through. So it ain't going anywhere. Here we go. And we already did a test fit, so we know it's not going to interfere with the rod or rotating assembly.
All right.
Bam.
Cool. Good job, bud.
Yeah.
Boom.
The wrist pin.
Oh, I forgot to say that. Yeah, wrist pin. Now, with some assembly lube, you need to apply a little bit.
To all the contact points on the new ride.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. We go together like...
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yep.
Now we're going to install some assembly lube.
So before you install your piston and rod, make sure that your rings are equally spaced.
Rod and cap. For the final time, hopefully. There we go. Going on with this beautiful flywheel, dude.
Yes, and it should work this time because we have a Hemi Predator. 265 hot cam.
Have we ever used one of these?
Yes, we have. We put one in the monster truck.
Bam.
Gasket comes included with the kit. And Ike just found out this engine was actually made in 2012. Seeing as like a grandpa.
Huh.
Getting steroids though, am I right?
Yes.
Hit the gym.
Click. It's hitting the case.
What's hitting the case?
I've heard of this before. We hadn't run into it yet, though. But the rod is hitting the lobe on the camshaft. See that hard spot right there?
Yes.
Check this out. It's right there at that magnet. Let's make a revolution.
No, you're picking stuff up.
Thank you.
Wait.
That's one revolution.
Yes.
And you see everything's fine.
Yes.
On the second revolution, we're going to hit it. Bam. Right there.
So you think it's hitting the cam lobe?
It has to be because the camshaft rotates one full turn every 2 turns of the crankshaft.
Back apart.
See what we got. Bam. We sure are.
And this thing we're running into isn't like a problem or a defect with any of these parts. It's just what happens sometimes when you install aftermarket parts into stuff like this. It's just the first time it's happened to us. So the cam is back out, and we put some assembly lube on the camshaft so we can reinstall it, and then as we rotate it, it should make a clean spot on the lube, so we'll be able to see where exactly it's coming into contact with the rod.
Reassembling. Of course, we're gonna have to use paint, but there's the mark. There's the grease right there. See it?
Yep.
There it is.
You can barely see it.
Barely. Still hitting.
All right, so it turns out it was hitting the rod and the crankshaft.
So right there on the lobe, it's coming in contact with the crankshaft. And that red paint came off the camshaft lobe. We're good. And can you imagine cranking that thing up with that
That knocking.
There's the gasket.
Yep, that's going to bump up our compression. So I just read on Go Power Sports' website that the Hot 265 cam actually makes power to 7,500, which means that it's probably not safe, definitely not safe for stock flywheel, stock rod. We put it in our monster truck, and it's been okay so far, but we don't have a lot of time in it, so we need to go ahead and put a billet rod and billet flywheel in that at some point. They must have seen us have a hard time with the valve springs in previous episodes, dude, because they sent a spring compressor that is awesome. So it's always a little tricky getting these new valve springs in because they're a lot stiffer than the factory ones, but these 22-pound ones shouldn't be too bad. It's like the 26 was a pain in the butt, and the higher ones. Can't forget to put your caps back on.
There it is.
All right, so our 26mm Mikuni is installed. We probably could get away with the 22 especially when you consider that like it's not air volume we need more of, it's just fuel volume. At least that's what I think. But we're just going straight to the 26 because that's going to have larger jetting too. So we have a choice of headers. Go Power Sports sent us like 4 headers. They sent us more, but 4 different types of headers. You think all headers are made the same, but they're not. If you look closely, this one is just round. This one is more basic. It's round, and you can see there's a lip on the flange. You have this one, which is an upgrade over the previous one, where it's been ground down to fit the mounting surface to the head, and then you have this really trick one with a thick gasket because the shape of where it mounts to the head is actually tapered to the pipe. This one's cool. This one's going on one of our upcoming builds. It's going to be like an all-out stage for you guys. Remember that 20 horsepower engine we built last year? Well, we're going to build one that's going to top that, and this header's going to go on it. Anyway, today we're going to use the second best flowing one. All right, dude, this thing is all together. 26mm carburetor, stage 2. It's time to fuel it up. So the carburetor is stock 26mm Mikuni. We have not done any jetting to it at all. We're just going to do this baseline to see if it'll fire up the way it is, and then tune it from there. Oh man, you need me to put this down and help you?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
We need more fuel.
Yeah, it keeps dying.
All right, so we got to drill that jet out.
Big surprise, right? Of course, the one time we really need Ike's precision drill bit set we can't find it. So we went to the hardware store and bought some consumer grade stuff. The goal, we're looking for maybe 15 to 20% larger than what's in the jet in that 26 millimeter right now. The rule of thumb is 30% more fuel. However, this carburetor, or the Stage 2 kit, was designed for a 22 millimeter Mikuni, whereas we're starting with a 26, so we're not going to need 30% bigger jet. That's kind of the way we're thinking about it. So I started by drilling out the main jet with a 1/16 drill bit. We're also going to adjust the E-clip on the needle on the carburetor, and we're also going to richen up the idle adjustment. So you move the clip all the way down, right? Because
all the way down, which lifts the needle up.
Which basically lets more fuel in everywhere.
It lets more fuel in. And all this idle is, it adjusts the plunger up and down.
Oh shoot, really?
Yeah. And I'm gonna go one full turn out, which should richen that idle up.
Ready to give it a shot?
Let's give it a shot.
Lean?
With the way it's acting when I gag it and stuff, it's acting like it's not getting enough fuel.
Right.
But, I think we're taking a step in the right direction with the rejetting.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it runs.
It's enough.
Yeah.
So we just got through running the engine. It's running better than I expected.
It's running, yeah.
But I think it's running a little on the lean side. I've never dealt with E85 before, but if this was regular gasoline, with the header getting as hot as it did, as fast as it did, makes me think it's lean. E85 might be different. Popping and snapping while accelerating and letting off and stuff. Gasoline engine tells me it's a little on the lean side. The dead spot, when I gave it full throttle, it had it bogged. It had a dead spot. So I believe that's a lean condition, and I think we ought to richen it up a little bit.
All right, so you just drilled out the idle jet a little bit.
Just a little bit.
And now you're drilling out?
I'm gonna drill out the emulsion tube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just giving it a shot.
I mean, either glory or insanity awaits.
Yes.
Ah! Ah! Dude, it's wanting to put itself through. We're through. All right, dude. Yeah, we also have these tiny holes in the side. You want to make sure that they are free. And that one wasn't.
So before we drill the main jet out again, we are going to give this a shot with just the emulsion tube drilled out, about 15% bigger than it was. We are using the American Express 2.0 chassis available from GoPowersports.com for our E85 project today. We have the chain hooked up and all that stuff, so we're going to see if it'll run right.
Yeah, it looks
That felt like Mach 3.
It looks pretty good.
I'm gonna do it again, dude. That either I forgot how peppy a stage 2 was, or like this is the key to everything. stupid. Gonna idle it up?
Can you get on it and I'll just tweak on the
Sure. How does it feel to you though?
Feels really good. Like,
yeah.
Like I had my doubts on E85 even.
Yeah, I would think, yeah.
I mean,
I wouldn't think that these results would be
shirt.
noticeable. Yeah, your shirt's a little toasted.
Yeah.
I didn't think that it would be noticeably different than like a stage 2. I mean, maybe the stage 2s are just beefier these days, but
well, I don't know. And it's been a while since we've done a stage 2, probably with that size sprocket.
yeah. Yeah.
So it feels really strong. It's I think we ought to maybe try it against something else.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. We got this little 212 running on Sunoco's E85R pretty well, considering that we just dialed it in with tools from like a hardware store. The Stage 2 kit from Go Power Sports is as mean as ever in the E85R. It seems to be like it's witchcraft. This thing, it feels really, really, really strong. So next time we're going to be comparing it against a very similar go-kart with a very similarly modified engine, just on regular 93 or 87 octane pump gas.
95
octane.
Ethanol-free.
Yes.
Sunoco.
Yes, Sunoco Optima fuel. So thank you for watching this video, guys. I think if this continues to go well, we should put E85 to a stronger, more modified engine. But I think right now, like, the results have been great. I think I don't know, it would be cool to get like an O2 sensor and really fine tune it and see how close we got with our kind of backyard eyeballing jetting. If you're thinking about doing an E85 build on one of these small engines, check out Go Power Sports Performance Upgrade Kits and of course Sunoco's E85R Racing Fuel. Facebook and Instagram, check us out in between videos at Cars and Cameras Reviews.
Check me out at Isaac It'll Be Fine.
Support the channel and pick up a t-shirt at cars-cameras.com. Leave a thumbs up. This is exciting. We got some good stuff going with this E85. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.